What's good? What's good? What's good with you niggas, bro? Giovanni is back. Maniac Mindset TV is back. And I know I said that last time, but I'm back for good now. No more breaks. I'm really on the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? So today we have the one and only Shedeur Sanders. You know I had to make a video about this man right now. He's the talk of the town. Everybody that watches American football is talking about him right now. Before I start this video, let me even just say I'm not an American football fan like that, but even I've tuned in with what's been going on in the NFL recently, and my man Shedeur Sanders. So yeah, it's a funny one really. People obviously saying that he's maybe just not as good as he makes it out to be, and that the way he's being treated at his current club, the Cleveland Browns, is deserved, and while others say the system's going against him. The NFL's going against him because of his father, because of, his dad being who he is.
How's everybody doing? Good. Well.
I feel just get back out there after, having to kind of sit around a little bit and not be able to do everything you previously.
Yeah. It felt fun. Felt fun to get out there, be with the team. Going into the final week. I don't know, it's weird. Like, consider training camp still? But all right, well, I'm just say preseason. Because on the film breakdown, I don't say training camp, say preseason. All right, so final week of preseason. It's a lot because I know it's a lot of relationships with a lot of guys in the building and a lot of guys in the locker room that we all may never play on the same team again. And that's just the truth behind it. So I did everything in my power, to get out there and be ready for this week, one last time with this group.
How is that oblique injury going?
It's feeling good. Yeah, everything's good. In life, it's always going to be pain. It's always going to be things, adversity, things that's going to knock you down sometimes. But the main thing about it is you just got to push through it. There's a lot of people in this world that's going through stuff, but, I'm playing.
I'm not actually sure what the interviewer asked him there, but I assume he asked him something to do with, obviously, the adversity he's kind of been facing. And it's nice to see that he kind of, attacks the question head on, do you know what I mean? He doesn't hide or shy away from the question or try and kind of tiptoe around it. He just says, hey, look, obviously I've been going through a couple of things, adversity, some struggles, but that's all kind of part of the game. I'm just going to run it back really quick, but so far it seems quite positive, and I don't know, looking at this interview, would you look at this and be like, oh, he's cocky or arrogant? But then again, this is just the one interview, and we're just getting started, so I won't give him his flowers just yet.
Adversity, things that's going to knock you down sometimes, but the main thing about it is you just got to push through it. There's a lot of people in this world that's going through stuff, but, I'm playing for a lot more than just me. So regardless of pain, that's always how I've been, even in college, so in high school and everything from when I was young. Regardless of physically, if I don't feel my best, I still got to go out there and execute with no excuses.
Against the Panthers in this outing on Saturday?
I say it's honestly just going out there playing ball. I don't really think too deep of it. I think about one completion at the time, one right play call at the time, the right way to do the footwork when we're handing the ball off, doing everything. So every day is just constant grading yourself and trying to have progression. Progress.
He seems very, very humble, to be honest, if you ask me. Again, even just the way he answers that question, he's talking about he's not trying to think too far into the future, and he's literally just trying to take it one step at a time, make sure kind of he's doing the correct things on his end in terms of making the correct plays, and yeah, just trying to go from there. So far I don't really sense much cockiness, much arrogance. Now again, I'm not a huge NFL fan. I haven't been watching this for years. Other people have their opinions, but this is just my opinion, so let's continue.
Yeah. Obviously, Joe was named the starter for week 1.
He smiles a lot as well, if you notice. He loves to smile.
As it pertains to the rest of the depth chart, all these roles are not given out there. Right? Just, what is your kind of mentality, what's your mindset as you end the season knowing that, hey, you're going to be a backup, but, you still have to be prepared?
Yeah, I would say I'm thankful that Huntley here. I would say because he gave me a perspective of quarterback that I feel like I needed, that I needed. I feel like him being here overall, dang, he clapping already. He know this is good stuff, but nah, the fact that Huntley here, he
has a
able
bit of humor as
to.
well.
I feel like God sent him here for a reason, honestly, just to talk and to be like a guy, be like a mentor, towards me, and his career also. But being in that backup role, he faced that also, in his career, and he just gave me the mentality on what I need to do and how I need to stay on top of everything. Just helping me out throughout everything.
What were some of the
Seems like he was very open, anyways, to the advice that he would have got from Aaron Huntley. From what I know, he's not the greatest NFL player, and he's been a backup majority of his career. I actually think he got cut, actually, if I remember correctly. But yeah, then again, I don't see the arrogance, I don't see the ignorance or anything like that. The fact that he's very open to having a conversation with somebody like that who is not necessarily even the greatest NFL player, but hey, look, when you get into a position that he's in, like, you'd be silly to not take advice from whoever you can take it from. So yeah, so far, very, very down to earth, humble guy, if you ask me. He smiles a lot as well. I don't know how so many people dislike him when he's in his interviews and he's speaking the way he speaks. He's very well spoken and he smiles a lot. So yeah, I like him so far. Again, a lot of people probably won't agree for whatever reason. I don't know, it's beyond my understanding. Like I said, I'm not a NFL guy here. I'm just here to judge the guy's character and his mindset. So
perspectives that he gave you?
It's even some things I forgot. I've been starting so long, ever since COVID year. I haven't really not started since COVID year. And I ran scout team there. And then sometimes you got to find the joy and the fun in it, because it is fun. You going out there against the first defense, and you out there with a chip. You playing with guys, you playing with receivers. It's trying to get out there also. So I feel like all that stuff is fun, and you just gotta make the best of any situation you in.
Shedeur, what's the process or strategy to take some of the things that you liked from that first preseason game into the reps that you get in this last one, and some of the things you learned too?
I would say I'm just going on there on my ability and God ability. I don't think anything too deep on what I did last preseason. It's a 24-hour rule, or I say 12-hour rule now. So I just go 12 hours. I feel happy. Then it's go back to work. So that's mainly my focus.
yeah, see, he's not sitting too much or dwelling too much on the past, whether that's he's done something good in the past or whether he's made mistakes. I love the mindset. I love the way he's like, all right, cool, what's done is done, clean slate, move on to the next one. That's how you have to be, man, in sports like this, where you can be under high amounts of pressure, and one slip up and one mistake, and it's like you could lose your whole team a game, or vice versa. One good play and you can win your team the game, and all of a sudden you're the hero. But once those 24 hours come around, it's a new day. It's a clean slate. So I love that. I love that from him.
You talked about it not feeling like training camp so much anymore. As you kind of reflect on,
well, not feeling like, it's just here it's just the language be different. Like, so I don't know what phase we're in. I just know we practice every day.
but as you kind of reflect on your first training camp, obviously your first preseason
Yeah.
experience. I know you got another game coming up, but what is the biggest thing that you've learned? Biggest things that you've maybe gotten better, or you feel like throughout this portion of the preseason?
I would say I learned life in a different perspective, and that's why I come here. I'm happy. I always got good energy, cause
Why?
I'm blessed to come out here every day, regardless of the situation, regardless of anything. I know my time, whenever that is, I'll be ready for it, and I'm going to embrace that. But in due time, I got many things I need to fix, many things I need to work on, and I'm not oblivious to that. So all I look at it as, I'm getting more time to cook. I'm getting more time to warm up. That's all it is.
See the way he openly speaks on his flaws? He doesn't sit there or stand there in front of the interview and try and say, look, I'm good at this, that, and the other, and I'm more than capable, or I should be here, or I should be there. He very much opens up and he says, like, look, like, I know my capabilities. He knows what he's capable of, and he knows his time will come. But at the same time, until that time kind of comes, he knows he has flaws. He knows there's things he needs to work on. Do you understand? So he's not standing up there with complete arrogance as maybe most people who are born into the life of Deion Sanders' son kind of would be, because you could always just be like, shit, my dad's Deion Sanders. Like, you know what I mean? That's Coach Sanders. Like, look at what my dad did. Like, I can definitely do too. But you can tell he's really trying to be his own person. He's trying to really, like, walk his own path. And, yeah, very down to earth, very humble. And he realizes, like, he really has no leverage having come into the league. And, like, what his dad has done in the past doesn't mean anything. He's really come in with a clean slate, having not done nothing. So he's really starting from the bottom.
You said you feel like you're playing for more than you. What are you playing for?
It's a lot. When we get on the field, it's a lot of happiness going throughout there. You just feel free. And we always just talk and have this conversation, but I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of things I'm playing for. Specifically, I have to write it down. Specifically, I have to write it down, but it's a lot of things, and it's none above the other, so I never want to say which one first, but it's a lot of things I'm playing for.
Hey, Shedeur, after that, in that preseason game last week, Dylan was interviewed, and he talked about the difference between entertainers and competitors. He called himself a competitor. Some people construed that as a shot at you. How did you take that?
Honestly, I don't even think about nothing. I don't think about anything. If it's not words or anything, at this point, it can't do anything to me. I know, the God put the ability and the power within me to not even think about nobody else's comments, not care. It is what it is. I spoke with him. He said, nah, bro, that wasn't. He said, that wasn't. He told me on the plane. He came up. He was like, nah, bro, that wasn't at you. I see how they trying to spin. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm not tripping. Regardless of whatever it was, nobody's words or anything affects me,
I love how he tried to give the PR answer there. At the start, he even laughed. He knew this question was coming. But I think he handled that quite well. I saw that interview where apparently people were saying that Dylan Gabriel was taking shots at him. Now, from what I deduced, from what I heard, it did sound like he was taking shots. But at the same time, it's not good to be, stirring up controversy between two teammates. So obviously he can't go up there and say that. But good PR answer, he well trained. He just laughed it off, just brushed it off. I wonder what that conversation really like was between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders in the locker room or the plane, whatever it was. But
so
good answer.
Yeah.
So did you believe him when he told you it wasn't on you?
Did I believe him?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're trying to start stuff now. I feel like you're trying to start stuff. I mean, he's doing his job. He's supposed to. Do I feel like he did? I don't know. And that's not on me to sit here and be like, oh, he did, he didn't. That's not going to change my life in any way.
What's it been like to work with him this camp, this preseason?
It's great competition. Every day you go out there, get a completion, and just how it is for everybody else in the room.
Shedeur, to go back to your comment about you're looking at it like you have more time to cook. I guess, what
Yeah.
do you think is important for you? And like you said, I mean, you haven't not been a starter in so long. Like, how are you just embracing this challenge?
Because it's like I feel like I've been through this already before. It was a COVID year. Jackson State, I wasn't eligible to play because I graduated early. And then my purpose was going there and just do everything I can on scout team each and every day. So that's my reflection. That's how I'm able to get through any situation, anything that life, throws at me or whatever I'm going through, is because I feel like I've done it, in a similar form. And then I think about, and I like when it's positive things going. I don't like to be negative, too much of everything, because I know everybody works hard. A lot of people work hard. Life is hard. Everything. So who am I to complain when you sit back and you think of everything in the grand scheme of things? So I don't even really try to even get down. And whenever, I even feel a little bit down, I just constantly remind myself, like, you can't be feeling that way.
Again, very, very mature answer. They asked him how he's going to deal with the current adversity he faced, obviously not being the number one QB. And I love his answer. I love how he just says, look, like, I've been here before. This is not a new situation to me. And I love how he says, like, look, like, the situation he's in, there's people who've been in worse situations, essentially. Like, how is he going to sit back and complain because he's not the number one QB? I think he knows that him sitting there and complaining or talking about it is definitely not going to be the solution. And like I said, having been here before, he knows that it's just like it's a step by step kind of thing, you know. And obviously, you're gonna have those negative thoughts kind of creeping, like he was saying. But you try and like always keep a positive mind, keep a positive attitude, put a smile on your face. It's never gonna hurt you. I don't know when there was ever a time where having a smile on your face and approaching something with a positive manner ever hurt you. Now, on the other hand, approaching it with a negative mindset and negative body language or connotation, what do you expect to get out of it? So, yeah, very mature in the way he approaches things.
Everything in the grand scheme of things, you know, so I don't even really try to even get down. And whenever, you know, I even feel a little bit down, I just constantly remind myself, like, you know, you can't be feeling that way.
Or you have such a, you know, that positive mindset, right?
Yeah.
So do you, though, also feel like you have things to prove?
Do I feel like I have things to prove? Of course, I'm playing for fun, I'm playing for happiness. You know, I'm playing for fans, the family, for everybody, for this organization that drafted me. So it's a lot I'm playing for. That's it.
So let's say two more. There's a lot that you're playing for. Is the number 2 rule still something that Kevin has had as an attainable goal for you?
Say it again?
Is the number 2 role still up for grabs? Are you guys still competing for that number 2 role?
Number 2 role?
Like number 2 starting quarterback.
Oh,
yeah.
Honestly, bro, I really don't look into that. I don't care. Whenever it's time for me to get out there and play, I'm going to play. Whenever it's time for the lights to come on, I'm going to do my thing. I'm not concerned about when it is. I'm not concerned about, you know, how many reps I'm getting at this point is what it is. Because I know when the lights come on, when everything go on, when the pressure's on, you know who I am. And I'm always be that way.
You've been talking a lot about it, even pre-draft.
Okay, maybe there is where people might be saying that he a little bit cocky, talking about, yeah, when the lights on, pressure's on, you know who I am. But even then, I don't know if that I would consider that like arrogance. I mean, you could maybe say it is arrogance because he hasn't really done anything to prove like what he just said. But then again, it all depends on your perception. Like, you could easily just see it as confidence, and he's confident in himself and he knows what he's capable of, although he's never done it on the big stage in the NFL yet. He knows he can. So it's a funny one. It's like the flip of a coin. It's like it can land either way. So I think I understand maybe, you know, the other side of the argument a little bit, but maybe somebody in the comments might be able to like shed some more light on it. But
You're talking about the biggest weapon for a quarterback is their mind. Mm-hmm. I think people will talk about Joe and say, man, how's he still doing this at 40 physically? But what kind of weapon is it? Can his mind be for this team, the way he processes all of his experience, all that?
I think the mind is extremely powerful. I think everything's a decision. I think you could wake up each and every day and decide if you're going to have a positive day or you're going to have a negative day. I think you can wake up every day, and regardless of any circumstance you're in, I feel like you could choose how your day is going to be. Choose your mentality. Choose how you feel about certain people. Choose if you feel like getting up and doing it every day. You have a choice. So I feel like that mental's extremely strong, and it's the most important thing. That's why, you know, people wear caps and stuff when we out there playing football to protect the mind and everything. So, of course, I'm never going to wear a cap, though. But
yeah, and I just have to pause it there. That boy's got it. He's got it. He's absolutely got it. I think you couldn't have said it any better. I think, like, there's so many outside factors that will affect your day-to-day or your life. Like you kind of said, but if you kind of wake up and you decide you're going to approach the day with a positive mindset, you're going to approach the day on go mode and on attack mode, and just whatever it is that tries to get in your way, you're not going to allow it to knock you off your pivot, then it's like, there's no reason you shouldn't have somewhat of a positive day. Do you know what I mean? You're increasing your chances of having a positive day. So it's like, you just have to focus on what you can control. You can't control whether it decides to rain outside or whether the sun shines today, but what you can control is what you're going to do when you get up out of that bed. So, yeah, no, he's really got that. He got that maniac mindset for real. I'm vouching for him. But, yeah, now let's go have a look at the comments, see what the comments are saying. His attitude is what you want from a seasoned leader, focusing on what matters, avoiding blame, making the most of every opportunity, working consistently to improve, keeping a positive outlook, not taking the bait to throw a teammate under the bus, rare stuff at any level. Absolutely. Again, what I was saying is, like, he really spoke with such maturity. I felt like that. you'd almost think he's a veteran. Like, some of those questions, like, they were almost trying to catch him out, which I guess is what the interviewers are supposed to do. They're trying to make headlines, but he spoke with so much maturity, almost like a veteran, and yeah, like a real team player, if you ask me. How can anyone hate this man? Can someone tell me what he's done to deserve this vitriol that's coming his way? I know what he's trying to say anyways. But yeah, I mean, when you watch that interview, he's constantly smiling, he's constantly laughing amongst all this adversity and all this controversy and all this noise around his name. I don't know how somebody can look at that interview and think, I dislike this guy. I really think, like, maybe a lot of it just does come and stem from his dad, or I don't know. But honestly, him as a person, you can't hate him, I'd like to think. But as his father has taught his children, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. He said, when it's time. He said, when it's my time. Yeah, exactly what he was saying. When it's his time, he'll be ready. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up right there, though. But for sure, I'll be banging out some more vids. But yeah, that is a wrap.
I gotta be rich before it's all over. I ain't trying to live life low risk. I ain't trying to get by. I gotta be rich before it's all over. Yeah, I don't want to freeze my wrist.